Pete, how's it felt to be able to get back out there and see your participation tick up more and more each day?
Yeah, it feels great. It's always fun getting out there with the guys, getting that chemistry back, being able to fly around is always, a fun thing to do. Just being around there with the guys and being able to be coached again is what I missed, and using that competitive side that I've always loved to show that.
What is it about the coaching what is it about that you missed?
I just like to compete. I like to go out there and practice and work on my craft, and if there's things that I wasn't doing out there while I was recovering that I could have gotten better at, and was given the opportunity to get better at a certain technique or whatever. If I missed out on that, then that's the result of being off the field. So I just like the opportunity to get better.
Pete, I might be wrong on this. I think this is the first time we talked to you since you signed your extension. So to have that out of the way before the season even starts and not even be worrying about it in the season, is that nice for you?
I would say so, yes. I didn't really want to even think about that throughout the season at all. I know some players do that, and they got whatever they have going on, so I can't really speak on that behalf. But for me personally, I know it's just all about ball now and going out and winning. So that's the only thing on my mind.
How long did that process of getting the contract done take?
I don't really want to go into deep in that. It was a little bit, but we worked on an agreement and got it done. So I'm just excited to stay in New Orleans for a little bit longer and continue to expand with this team and grow with this team.
How's it feel to just get that commitment from the team that drafted you, right? That's
right. When I got drafted here, I was told you're going to be rewarded for how you play, how you lead, and how you compete. And I felt like I did those things, and I was rewarded. So I'm just happy, to go out and show and continue to show what I do.
What's that responsibility kind of mean to you, that it kind of makes you like one of the young pillars that's going to be a building block, like post-Cam, post-Hiram, post-DeMaio, like they're kind of, you're going to be one of those guys they're going to build around for that next wave. Like, what's that mean to you?
I don't really think about like that. I haven't really thought that far in the future. I'm thinking about this year, what we have and linebacker unit that we have. I do see that, they have trust in me to invest in me, but, I'm thinking about the guys that we have in the room and guys complementing each other to go out there and compete and to win.
Pete, we've heard DA talk about the standard he has for his defense being very high, and maybe it wasn't quite up to that standard last year. Have you felt like the kind of urgency to kind of get back to where y'all have been for much of your time?
Right, and I think we've shown that. If you ask a lot of the players on the defense, this is definitely the toughest training camp that we've gone through these past few years, at least since I've been here. That sense of urgency is what we feel like we've lacked, So if we got to, thud is the term to stop the ball carrier when he's running. If we have to do that a little bit harder, or we got to finish through, we got to run the ball a little bit more, then that's what we're going to have to do.
What exactly made it tougher?
I would just say that the tempo in which we practiced, our intensity, reps, you could throw reps in there. I just think that, when you have a standard for a defense and you're reminded of that standard every single day, there's no chance to lack. You can't take an off rep. You can't have an off day. It's just impossible. And I think that might have happened in the past. We were maybe taking a few days off because we felt like we got it. We've learned from last year and the past few years that, nobody's got it. We never do, and we got to stay consistent. We always have to, finish each play, finish each rep, and that's where I think that urgency has been high this year.
Do you feel like being out in California and having different weather allowed the coaches to maybe push the players a little bit more because maybe y'all had more energy or whatnot to go through maybe a tougher practice on a daily basis?
I do think weather plays a little bit in that. In New Orleans here, it's 95 and 110% humidity. You're going to be able to get a little bit more reps when it's no humidity and 75 out in Cali compared to here. But then again, there's positives to one side and there's positives to the other. You could say that New Orleans makes you tougher, or you could say LA, you're getting, you're running around more. So there's both ways you can look at that.
Columnist talked a little bit about the value of the isolation of being in Irvine or being in California. How did that sort of being away from home, but also being around one another when you're off the field, how did that maybe help this core and unit a little bit?
I thought it brought us closer a little bit. I mean, we're having activities as units, as linebackers, as defense, and even as a team. I mean, it puts you all closely tied together. You're able to learn from each other, you hang out and do all those types of things. I think there's, the positive in isolation there. I think when you are so closely tied together, you hear this all the time, but the leadership and the chemistry within the team is better. So I think that isolation shows the piece of unity within the team.
You a coffee guy?
I am, yes.
Like one of the few guys in the coffee of the defense to be a coffee guy. That's what we keep hearing about the linebackers referred to as the coffee of the defense.
Oh, yeah, every day. Actually, DeMario was the first one I heard that from. Every day you're going on day number 10 of camp, and it's like, geez, I don't know if I can do it today, but, linebackers in our head, it's we don't have the choice. We're going to be the coffee today. We're going to provide the energy for the rest of the defense. So that's kind of where I got that from. But, when DeMario says something, you just kind of want to reiterate that to everybody else because he usually knows what he's talking about. So.
Take your coffee?
What?
How do you take your coffee?
Black coffee. Yeah.
When you said activities as a group in California, did you mean stuff you typically do anyway, or did you mean bonding off the field stuff that you only did because you were isolated?
I'm saying, but both things. We do that here as well, but then again, that's all we have out there. We're all compact in a hotel, and we're getting dinner together. Doing simple activities like that. Just getting closer with one another is kind of what I meant there.
Hey Pete, we haven't talked to you since Cole won that medal. What was that like?
That was awesome. So Cole Hawker won a medal in the 1,500 meter relay. He was the anchor in a 4x4 relay team that I was in, I think a few weeks. It wasn't all year long. But I was the third spot, which I think is the weakest spot where they put the runners, and he was obviously our anchor. But yeah, that's incredible. I just was scrolling through social media, and he had a big family party a few days ago. So that's a big step there, and shout out Indiana.
You had to do a good job with that exchange, though. I mean, you were holding.
I mean, that's right. You could give me some credit there. I like that. Yeah. If I dropped it, who would he be, right? Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.